major gold markets now in the world. India's gold import duty now stands at a massive 15% after this latest hike by the government. Compare that with the rest of the world. The US, China, the UK, Australia, Singapore, Pakistan, Japan all effectively maintain zero import duty on gold. Brazil remains one of the few major economies with a relatively high tariff structure ranging between 10 and 20%. This shows just how aggressive India's move really is. The government's objective is clear: reduce gold imports, cut dollar outflow, conserve foreign exchange reserves and shield the rupee at a time when the West Asia conflict is increasing pressure on global oil prices and the Indian currency. The big question now is, will this sharp duty hike actually help stabilize the rupee and reduce pressure on India's current account deficit in the months ahead? So this is not something that is common across the world. You look at global tariffs, Jayjeet, and they're normally in the zero range. It's just Brazil now, which along with India has the duty in the range of 10 to 20%.
Right. I mean, if you look at historically, India always had a huge appetite for gold, and therefore to buy Indian products, the Europeans had to go to Brazil to steal their gold. So that's how the Americas got colonized, because they were hunting for gold. For whom? To be paid to India to buy Indian products. So India is a very unique market in comparison for gold. The appetite for gold, the domestic purchase for gold, driven by both fashion as well as customs and religion, creates a huge market for us. Now, excuse me, in the circumstances that we are in, wherein our current account deficit is just ballooning in the last few months for circumstances which are not under our control, there is very little that we can do except reduce those imports which we are really dependent on. If it's a manufactured product, we can manufacture them locally. But if it's oil and gas and gold, none of them is really available in India in adequate quantities. So we are really dependent on their manufacturing. And therefore, I think it's a very timely step by the government to ensure that there's reduction in the consumption of gold. Along with it, I would also say that products on which there has been anti-dumping duties already determined, it'll be good if the government goes ahead and imposes those anti-dumping duties to further dampen the imports on manufactured goods for which we already have capacities. So I think it'll be a slew of measures that the government will be taking. Gold is obviously, and silver along with it, are the low-hanging fruits in that sense, and I'm sure nobody will really feel the pain of not buying gold right now and coming back later in the year once the global situation has settled down. And as we know, once there is a sense of stability, people take their money away from gold and start investing back in the stock market. Only when there is a sense of risk do people run towards gold and buy more gold. And that's what's really happening globally. People are moving their funds into gold, so the cost of gold is going up. And if you're importing those high-priced golds into India, that is debilitating for our economy. As I was mentioning yesterday in your show, the current account, the fiscal deficit had reduced to 4.3 in the current financial year. And now it'll go back to 5 or 5% plus because of the pressures that the government is in.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to you, Sharat Kohli, as well. If you look at the global tax structure, India really stands out along with just perhaps Brazil in this high import duty now imposed on gold. Why is that?
Well, that's simply because the quantum of consumption in India is humongous. India is the second largest consumer of gold. No other country has got a fancy for gold the way India has. As I said, unofficially, JP Morgan says 30,000 tons of unofficial gold reserves in Indian families, Indian households. No country for that matter. America is the highest gold reserve official keeper as far as Federal Reserve is concerned. They've got 8,800 tons. We unofficially have 30,000 tons. So the fancy for gold, Prime Minister, when he looked at numbers, if you see the three top most imported commodities in India, topmost is crude, $140 billion. Thereafter comes electronic and equipments and electronic components, because we are doing a lot of Apple phones and Samsung phones, which is $120 billion. And number three is gold. So when it's such a humongous quantity, which is about 7 lakh crore rupees, it's a massive amount to be spending on gold, and government is helpless. In fact, government had to shut down sovereign gold bonds some time ago for this very reason, because the quantum of imports has gone up. But I think because it's become a habit in India. It's part of Indian culture. It's part of social fabric of the country. So I feel that there may be a temporary blip because Prime Minister's appealed and people have short memories, and then they'll go back. And mind you, government has not banned import of gold. It has only stepped. So government says if you want to import, at least let us at least us collect the the revenue out of it. So that's the whole idea. But I think gold and silver will continue to play a very pivotal role. And over the last 2-3 years, it has given phenomenal returns to the investors, which the investors are unable to forget. Imagine somebody having bought a piece of necklace or something to be wear on your eyes or bangles at 50,000 rupees per 10 gram. Today stands at 1,60,000, 3 times return, just simply while something was lying in your locker. So I think that infatuation with gold is going to continue. Temporary blip because of the Prime Minister's appeal, temporary blip because of the custom duties, but I think the story will go on after some time.